Sherry.
Yeah, you might be able to pull that out, and you do have to speak right into it. We're going to have a no boots rule there.
Okay, I'm Ron Cherry. I'm running for Humboldt County Commission seat C. I'm a small business owner. I have a ranch in Orvada. I've been married to my wife Denise for 37 years. I've got 3 children and 4 grandchildren. Can you hear me? Okay. And all of which live in Humboldt County. I'm a 4th generation Humboldt County resident. My grandchildren make it 6 generations now that call Humboldt County their home. So I have a vested interest in the future of Humboldt County. One of the reasons that I'm running for county commission is that I believe that it's important that at least one of those seats be held by somebody from the rural area. I think you'll agree with me that a well-rounded, well-balanced county commission is good. Members with varying interests and experiences make it a better commission. I would hope that I could bring that rural perspective to the commission. Some of my qualifications are for most of my adult life, the last 30 years, I've donated and volunteered a lot of my time to both community and boards and committees. I've also worked for my industry on a lot of boards and committees. Just recently I was president of the Nevada Cattlemen's Association. That experience taught me a lot about politics. It taught me that in order to get things done, you had to work with various diverse groups. It was an opportunity for me to make some important connections. I've been to D.C., Washington, D.C. a number of times. I've testified before the state legislature. All these things I think are deals that will make me a better county commissioner. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for all coming. As most of you know, this is my second go-around at this. I wasn't too successful the first time. My name is Jim White. I run for Humboldt County Commissioner, seat C, this time. Everybody says you're nuts, you're losing your mind, you're losing your marbles or whatever for doing this, but I don't think that way. Been born and raised here all my life, and I feel like I want to give back to the community, some great stuff, learning experience that I've been here for, raised my kids here, very proud of them, and I feel like I have the knowledge. I worked for the Nevada Department of Transportation for 28 years, retired from there from the state service. I had my own business that I started from scratch and turned it into a good business for 24 years. I just got rid of that last year. So I have the time and the dedication and the knowledge I feel to make a good county commissioner. For the last 3 years, I've attended almost every meeting, diligently listening, learning, and getting to know the process of the county commission position. It's extremely important and responsible for this county and for the other areas that encompass the northern part of the state. I've learned we have some major issues that are going to affect all of us that are coming up or on the table, and the commission now has been addressing those very well. But I think we need some new blood in there, and I think I have that ability to carry on and tackle these issues. Like the sage-grouse thing's coming up here pretty quick. It's going to affect all of us if it does pass. The public lands issue. I think there's some different water issues. I think that's one of the main things that I'm going to set my goals on is protecting our water, either not having enough or having too much, we've had before. But those are just some of the things I want to look at. And I want to thank Commissioner Castanelli for all his years of service. He's done a great job, and I look forward to hopefully filling that position. Thank you.
Well, Jim, we'll just keep you up there and ask you the first question. Since it's still fresh on our minds, the same question popped up in the commissioner's race. How do you feel medical marijuana fits into our community, and what is your opinion about establishing localization outlets?
I was also attending, as Teresa outlined in her talk, I attended the commissioner meeting, and it was one of the more well-attended meetings. A lot of times I'm sitting there in the audience, and myself and Ron or maybe two other people are at the commission meetings, and that's one of the other things I like to do is get a little more transparency there. But as far as the medical marijuana issue, the state's pretty much outlined that it is going to be here. It's something that we are going to have to address. The commission knows about it. Recently, the Planning Commission has done an outstanding job of outlining some of the rules and regulations and where it's going to be and how it's going to be, or where it can be set up. I think it's something that we're going to live with, we're going to have, and I think it's something that's probably needed. We listened to some testimony there from some of the people that need this, and I think it is important. I just think, I kind of agree with Teresa on some of her facts that I think we're really got to take it slow and do it right. We got to make sure all our T's are crossed and stuff, and make sure that when we do set it up, as far as the ordinance, that we do have some ground rules, where, when, and how much, and all that stuff. I think it's very important to have the Sheriff's Department in on this, and also the Winnebago PD Department, because they're going to be affected really a lot with this. I understand that there's some increased crime that happens around these facilities and that, so I hope wholeheartedly that they have a large input on when and where this goes and that. But I think it's something we're going to live with, and I think we just got to make sure we do it right.
I think someone said it earlier, there's got to be a lot more discussion about this. I've done some asking around, and what I've found is that it doesn't seem to be that there's going to be a lot in it for the county. It'll cost whoever decides to put in one of these establishments $35,000 for licensing. That'll go to state. They'll have to have $200,000 worth of liquid assets in case something goes wrong. The county, it is medical marijuana, so there is no sales tax on it. So there's not a lot to be gained by the county. I understand that there's people out there that need it, and I feel for that. But if in places where they've tried it already, I've heard that crime rate has gone up, so that if that happens and we need to hire more police and stuff, then it's a lose situation. So I'm not against it. Just from what I'm hearing right now is that there's not a lot to gain by having it here. So I think we need to proceed carefully. I think we need to talk about it. The whole community needs to be involved in this, so I think that's what we're going.
Okay, for our next question is, it's about sage grouse. We're all familiar with that topic about how it can affect our businesses and ranches and farms and recreation in Humboldt County. How familiar are you with the arguments, and what do you see the role of the county commission in supporting or getting these off the list or on the list? Or what is your thoughts on that? Go ahead, Jim.
Again, this is another topic that's been discussed a lot at the commission meetings that I've attended for the last 3 years. It's going to be pretty detrimental, in my interpretation of everything I've read. I've read the whole U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service packet that was sent out and their information that they gave. I wasn't too impressed with it. They left out a lot of stuff I felt, or didn't cover, I should say, in the brief. I think the commissioners have done a great job of exploring this and doing everything they can, along with other state commissioners or county commissioners, also state officials and that, all the way up to the governor's office. I'm really worried about it, and I think it's something I will really heavily fight against. And unfortunately, what I see of it, it's not about the bird at all. It's just about big government in Washington, D.C. or environmentalists or whatever putting their thumb on us and say this is how we're going to control some of our public lands or whatever. So with that, I've done a lot of research on it. I've been to all the meetings. Like I say, I want to get more involved in it. Unfortunately, the big decision is not in our hands, but if it does come down to where it is listed, we're going to have to deal with it. Now there's all of the research I've done, there's some stuff that we can do even if it is listed to help protect our rights out here in certain areas as far as getting out, recreating, hunting, fishing, or whatever. So I think that's one of the key issues that we're going to have to look at as a commission, is what we can do if it does go. And like I say, there are a few things that we can do so we can still enjoy our outdoors.
Well, this is one issue I have a great deal of knowledge about. I've been working on it. My livelihood depends on the use of federal lands. As I said that I was president of the Cattlemen's Association. Well, after I got done with that, I'm now the chairman of the Public Lands Committee. We've submitted comments. I have no doubt that whichever way this goes, if it's listed or not, it's going to go to court. The environmentalists will sue if it doesn't get listed, and we'll have to sue if it does. Humboldt County will be greatly affected by this. Every citizen, whether you're a rancher, a miner, if you're a recreationist, it's going to limit what we can do out there. It's going to limit access. What I think the county commissioner can do, they can do a lot. I think, first of all, I know that the rest of the counties, all western counties, not just Nevada, but all the western states, you're going to see, they're going to have to bind together, get together on this, and if we have to go to federal court, we'll have to go to federal court. Because if we don't have that, in Nevada where we have 90% of the land is federal, if we don't have use of that land, the economies are not going to just suffer, they're going to dwindle away. We can't just survive on tourism there. Everything we do revolves around the use of our public lands. So I guess my answer is, as a county commissioner, I'll make sure that we follow and join with other counties in whatever we have to do to keep it open.
Jim will keep you up there for the next question. I'm sorry, Ron. What are your thoughts about trying to diversify our economy in Humboldt County and attract more businesses? Where can we go in that direction?
Well, we do need to, we always have to look at diversification. Unfortunately, it always has been, and it's going to be hard to get away from. It's agriculture is one of the kings here, and so is mining. Now, I guess what we can do is look at what can we add to those industries. I mean, to diversify those industries. Can we bring dairies to this area and use the hay that we produce? Can we grow chickens here? I don't know why not. I mean, we have freeways, we have railroads. We can ship all this out. I can tell you from my perspective, it seems like it would be cheaper to bring the milk cows here and ship the milk out than to ship all that hay to California. I guess the same thing with mining. What can we do? We got lithium out there where I live, and it's going to go to firmly get processed. Can we offer something to bring some of that business our way? Potentially, I think we need to talk to those people. We just need to be aware of what's going on, and I know, there's people that think we gave Tesla too much, but if you want those kind of people to come, you either offer it or somebody else will. It's like when you sell your house. If you're in your neighborhood, have your house for sale, and he offers a prospective buyer a better deal than you do, they're going to go with him. So we have to work with, to bring industries in here and offer incentives for them to come.
A spin-off of the Tesla deal, and that's where the community members now, and the commission, the WCPA, the city council, maybe they should all be getting together, and when this process gets going, there might be some spin-offs off of the Tesla thing that could help, to come here. It's not that far away. That could be maybe looked at to help, bring some other type of business here that's associated with the Tesla project. It's huge. One of the things, and Ron covered it, and my feelings are the same, is it's a give and take situation. To get something, you almost have to give. And Reno or Washoe County or whatever, Story County give up over $1 billion to get that project. Hopefully it turns out okay for them. I think they've done the research, and it should. One of the other big things I've noticed over the years, I think it's kind of held Winnemucca back as far as other businesses coming here, larger business or whatever, and it's been great. We've had Carry On come in here, which is, something other than mining and agriculture, recreation, or other tourism. So that was a big plus for us, and I think the city council, the commissioners, everybody did a great job there. But one of the things I think holds a lot of businesses back is our airport. I would like to strive to see our airport get to a level where, we could maybe get some kind of jet service in here or something like that, because bigger, larger companies or whatever have to have that accommodation to be able to have a business here. Their executives or whatever, or even taking their products out of here, have to have a good, viable airport. So that's something I think that could be worked on. And I know it's a big expense, and it takes a lot of planning and that, but I think that's something that everybody should look at or try to strive to get going. And then, of course, we've got our highways, railroads here. We've got some things that a lot of other communities don't have, and I think we should try to push those. Interstate system, US 95 junction, and also the railroads. I think those are all beneficial to getting other businesses here.
All right, that's all we have for you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time. Next on the agenda are the district court judge candidates, Todd Plimpton and Jen Shirley. Are you all staying awake out there, or do we need to get up and stretch for a minute?